لا تطلعي من بكوتي.
Today, and what's the cost of what you're wearing?
If I'm going to be completely honest, I think my necklace is the most expensive thing that I'm wearing. That was a gift for like my 16th birthday. I can't remember where my jeans are from. My shoes are Nike. In shekels, probably like 500, maybe a bit more. I don't know.
My shoes are also Nike. I can't remember prices, but they were secondhand, so that helps. Actually, everything I'm wearing is secondhand. So these were originally M&Co, if you know, that's like an English supermarket brand. This top was expensive. It's actually Dolce & Gabbana, but it was secondhand. Yeah, that's kind of... Oh, and this bag also was secondhand, so yeah.
I'm wearing today Pull & Bear. It cost me 30 shekels on like the last season. And Zara, it cost me like 120. And I think it's the most expensive clothes I ever bought. My shoes are vegan shoes. They cost me, I think, 250.
This dress, I think it cost me 70 shekel.
I'm wearing Chelsea boots, jeans, and a pair of shirts. My boots are probably, in shekels, it's 70 shekels, so in dollars, it's just under $20. Jeans were 100 shekels, so that's equivalent for $30. And my shirt is 50 shekels, so that's probably around $17.
How much would you say that you care about what you wear?
I work in the office, so I need to look professional, and I try to keep appearance.
Not a lot. Like I'm especially wearing things that I love, like dresses, because it's more comfortable for me to wear, and a lot of color things, like less black, more pink, stuff like that.
Nothing.
You don't care too much about that?
Yeah, like it's not like as important to me. I mean, like I think I care more about my jewelry than I do like my clothes. Yeah.
I care a lot. I wish I was a better person like Bella. No, I do care. I think it's nice sometimes in the morning, like if you're feeling a bit low, but you have an outfit laid out, it kind of gives you that boost to get out of bed.
I love getting dressed, and my hobby in life is to buy my clothes the cheapest I can. I just bought a pants in 10 shekels, and they're amazing. Can I show it?
Yes.
They're amazing.
Where'd you get them from?
From a shop called Bigudit, and everything they have is secondhand clothing.
What do you care most about? Family, friends, education, land, material possession, money?
Especially family. Like I like really to hang out with go on vacations with family.
I'm very big into like feminism, and I'm very like big into family and friends. I'm not a materialistic person at all. It's not something that I've like been grown up to be. Land is a very controversial question where we are right now, but it's still like a very big issue for me.
Family and friends are important, and education. Actually, I'm quite nerdy. I really enjoy studying.
Community and equality, probably.
I think I care most about spiritual growth, because I feel like in Israel when life is so hard and difficult, everything we have is our inner self and the things we go through with ourselves, and this is really important to me.
Are you guys protective about the things you care the most about?
Yes.
Yeah.
Very, yes.
Yes, I am.
I do feel protected because, at the end of the day, when it comes to equality and a community, so it's each person needs to help and to try to change it. So it doesn't matter how the environment change and people have different perspective about their life values. If you have your life values and you try to teach it and spread it on, so it will change.
In one or two words, how would you describe your life here?
Wow. Now lately it's a lot of noise, but I'll say Jerusalem, it's the most spiritual place there is in the world. All in all, can't complain.
I really like the in the environment, in the street, like the street performance and stuff like that.
It's quite selfish to say, but very like peaceful. I feel very spoilt living here.
Privileged.
That's what I was looking
Yeah.
Spoiled.
As a white Christian, I can move between Israeli and Arab neighborhoods and make friends with both people groups, which I can't even tell you. That's like such a privilege, but also very uncomfortable. Yeah, that would be my second word, uncomfortable. Yeah.
Life is pretty expensive. It's not as expensive as Tel Aviv, not at all, not even close.
Yeah.
But you go to work and you work so hard and you never get enough money to save.
Yeah.
You can't save. If you're a student in Jerusalem, you just live on nothing. You don't have money.
What are some issues you guys personally face living here in Jerusalem?
I'd say guilt is a big one for me, especially like being from somebody that like lives from like overseas to come in and have like more rights than most of the people that live here. It's like I feel very guilty for like having such a privileged lifestyle that I do here.
Yeah, also guilt, I think, just taking up space in this city. At times I've questioned whether I should go back to London even though I am here studying. Like I was in Bethlehem 3 days ago, for example, and I sort of waltzed through the border crossing. I like flashed my British passport. I'm like, la la la. And the man in front of me was Palestinian, and I don't know, there was a problem with his ID card. He was turned around and I just had this moment like, why the fuck do I have more right to the land than him? So yeah, there's a lot of guilt.
People tend to sort of profile you by how you look. If you wear this type of yarmulke or kippah, as for religious people, they think you're categorized in this sort of people. So you have your perception about life and life values have to be A and B and C. And yeah, just people, because we were born as like in Jerusalem specifically, because like we have a lot of terrorist attacks and we have different cultures here. So if you're in some sort of category, we're like them, so you must be like them as well. And people do not give a sense of the doubt.
What does Al-Aqsa or the Temple Mount mean to you personally as someone who lives here in Jerusalem? Does it shape your outlook on your life here?
I'm personally not very religious. We go there from school when we go out to see, to learn, but it's not very part of my daily life.
I think like because I'm Jewish, it has to mean like a lot more to me than it does. But like I didn't grow up with like a very strong like Jewish education and influence in my life. So I feel like obviously like on a spiritual level, like you're quite connected to it, but like it's just there.
I'm not really close to that kind of things.
So you have like no attachment to it?
No, because I'm not religious, so, and I don't believe we have to live on this land. And I feel ashamed I don't know Arab, like the language. Makes me feel ashamed because they work with me in my workplace and we don't speak the same language, that we can't communicate. And that's so sad because they have to wash the dishes and I'm gonna stand in the front, always. That's
Do you ever have issues working with them?
I love them.
Yeah.
Yeah, we communicate few words over there, and we love each other.
Yeah.
But there's Arabs and Jews that are not nice to each other.
In one word, probably a lie. That for sure it's a spiritual place for some people. And in the day, the Israelites here were first. Because of the Bible, in the Bible, no one doesn't disagree with the Bible. It's the most historic book there is. You cannot argue with it. And in the day, there's no mention in the Quran that it belongs to them. I am all for it, that should have a place to pray, whatever, but they're just making it against the Israelite. Always gonna have people with different beliefs when it comes to Judaism, Christianity, Muslim. We could all live together, but just like you don't need to force your religion on other people. So they could go there, but don't make a whole story out of it. It's fine. You want to pray, but don't try to if the police is there for your safety, our safety, don't try not to kick them out and try not throwing rocks in them and saying, it's not good.
Do you have confidence in your political leaders here in Jerusalem, and do you think that they have the best interest of both Israelis and Arabs living here?
No. The short answer, absolutely not.
I'm not very political at my house. We don't hear a lot of news, but overall, I think that everyone that want to lead this country is someone that care about the country and will do everything to protect that.
No, I think the army takes all the budget. The army has infinity budget. I was in the army. I saw the waste. I think it's much more complicated than I understand.
Do you personally believe that both Israelis and Arabs can coexist peacefully here in Jerusalem?
I wish it could be like that. We give them so much land through the years. Each time we give them just more and more and more land. At the end of the day, the people in charge take for the wrong place. Israeli government gives millions upon millions of dollars every year to help them rebuild and help them. And most of the people do want to get help. They want to build schools and help them, but the people in charge of their government take it to Hezbollah and they take it to all their governments, the Israeli-Palestinian, and just pay weaponaries, they pay weapons, and just mass destruction. And where they hide all their weapons and their army bases are in schools and inside hospitals. I wish it could coexist. I'm all for it. The most important thing is to have an open conversation with them, but at the end of the day, most of them are just not interested.
Absolutely. You get rid of McGov, good to go. I don't understand half the restrictions on Palestinians or Arabs living in Jerusalem. It's absolutely fucking ridiculous. It's bye.
It's ridiculous, and I agree that given that the two-state solution hasn't been any kind of solution, we're now moving towards it needs to be one state, binationalism. So that, yes, in theory, given, for example, right-wing settler movements, I find it very hard at the moment to imagine in the near future a city where there is total peace and coexistence and friendship, more than just tolerance, you want to celebrate each culture. So yeah, it's a real tragedy.
I think that it's tough to do that, to coexist together, especially with a different language and the fights that we have for a long history, but I think that we can manage it a lot. There is a lot of programs in schools and stuff like that trying to bring together Jewish and Arabic to learn more of their language and more in their learn but our language, how to talk, how to coexist together.
How do you guys feel about the displacements of the Palestinians in neighborhoods right now in Sheikh Jarrah and Silwan? Do you guys agree with what's happening?
I disagree with what's happening, if I'm being completely honest.
Yeah, I protest in Sheikh Jarrah every Friday. I think it's sickening.
I'm afraid and embarrassed to say that I almost don't know anything about it. Oh my God, that's so embarrassing.
Arabs who've been, they're taken out of their homes from Silwan, it's their place, so I don't think it's right. But on the other hand, most of the people there don't have not an Israeli passport, and if you don't have an Israeli passport, you're supposed to have a Palestinian passport or a Jordanian passport, and they have none of the three. And they're just not living here, they don't pay, like us, they don't pay tax, not for us and not for their government. And people who were evacuated because they were living illegally. So should they be evacuated from certain places? Yes. How they get evacuated or where to? That's a different question.
How do you guys feel as there's now more global support, maybe more than ever, for Arabs and Palestinians in the West Bank and in Gaza to have their own freedom? How does that make you guys feel as people living in Jerusalem?
So I'm coming from a British perspective here. The kind of things I was seeing on Instagram, it was very tribalist. My friends were either, fuck Israel, or on the other side, everyone's victimizing us, la la la. So there wasn't much nuance. People are very keen. I don't know if it's virtue signaling to say something, because especially after BLM, it's saying something is better than saying nothing. But this is such a complicated conflict that I think we need to move back to a culture of just pausing and reading rather than like jumping on your phone straight away.
I think it became like a big trend to be pro-Palestine, especially like with Bella Hadid and Gigi Hadid and the infographics that like turned into memes. And it's just like, I think everybody just like needed to take a step back and like realize that it's not just a black and white situation, that it goes back like centuries and centuries. And like at the same time, as like as woke as it is to be pro-Palestine, like you need to do your research on it, and like I don't think a lot of people are willing to do it. It's just like they're just advocating for something because it became popular and it became like more of a trend to hate on Israel. But like at the same time, it's not like Israel handled everything completely okay, because right now it's just like everybody's just viewing it as black and white, and it's just not. It's a very complex and like sensitive situation.
What are some misconceptions that you feel people have about Israelis that you would like for people who don't know much about Israel to know?
About Israel, wow. We're not all thieves, that's first off. We don't all hate each other. We don't all hate the Arabs. There's such a various variety of people here who live here. The thing you see on TV when it comes to, that's the main issue, is Israelis and Arabs. What you see on the TV is not true. At the end of the day, it's television, it's politics, it's supposed to look interesting, it's supposed to catch the eye. There's so much behind the scenes that I don't know, you don't know, the politics don't know. There's so much background that goes on. So just try to keep an open mind and don't judge.
What do you hope to see here happen in Jerusalem?
In Jerusalem, there's a lot of there's less separation in Arabic and in Jewish, and I hope that we can coexist like here in Jerusalem and the rest of the country.
First off, we're not gonna have traffic anymore. That's the main issue.
In all honesty, I'd get rid of like the military control of Jerusalem. I feel like it just like provides like an unnecessary like stress to it, and like everybody's always so anxious, and like it's like no one can enjoy Jerusalem for what it is, because it's a beautiful city, but like everybody's either like looking left or right because of like terrorist attacks or this or that, and it's just like I'd personally like get rid of like the military involvement in Jerusalem.
I wish there would be like just more peace, more love. Everyone lives here one next to each other. We live together. That's absolutely happening, and it's amazing and beautiful. But hate just hide in the corners, and I wish that would go away.
Yeah. Do you have any ideas of solutions? What would your solution be on a spiritual level?
Finding a way to live with Arabic people together with no hate, creating circles together, and just doing more things like that.
Yeah.
Because it's so sad when we can communicate.
Yeah. Really great. Thank you so much.